There we go. What are you doing, buddy? What are you doing? Cool. Short links. That's what's throwing me off. These short links, because this is a 313 millimeter wheelbase set. This is a 313 millimeter wheelbase set. So that's what's throwing me off. Hello? Oh, yeah, that's working. Hello. And what's really annoying is I bought the funny tool, but for these to just start, they don't do well with the funny tool. I can hardly ever use this thing. And my biggest issue is that some of these are off. Like, they're off at an angle. And then some of these are straight. And then some of them are 45. And I was like, which one goes where? But I had a buddy that helped me figure that out. So. That's that. Those are uppers. These are lowers. Steering link. The front's done. Lowers, uppers, steering link, rear lowers. These are the rear uppers. There's that one. Don't do this, home kids. There's my disclaimer. And obviously, these links are probably for like a TRX4 or a SCX10, but they're high clearance links. They've got the bends in them. And most of the good RCs that you see out there that look cool are hand built. They're modified. They're made from other parts. So this is the steering link, I believe. So in theory, this would replace that. So I might actually be able to use all these links if I am doing this right. Though I'm thinking I'm going to have to replace that steering horn. That side, this side. No, that's not going to work for that one. All right, put that down for a minute because now my hand is killing me. And if you're new here, this is the spider. This is my creation from a Temper Gen 2 and TRX4 axles. And you can obviously see everything else I've done. The only thing that's left original is the Temper Gen 2 transmission and the motor, which I'm trying to see if there's another one that might fit within that platform. But I have not had any luck yet. Though I'm wondering if a UTB 18 transmission and motor will fit in there. Which they're the same motor, believe it or not. They're both Dynamite 380 cans. I've seen somebody in the UTB group that transplanted all his UTB stuff into this, but I'm not sure how he did it. Like, I'm not all that detailed, so I don't know that part for sure. But I do know that they run the same motors. Just the UTB is like I want to say it's like a 28 or no, 32 turn. So that original link and that link are of comparable size. So I kind of want the kick up in the rear. So I don't know. This is going to be where the real uncharted waters is. So that's working there. And these desert lizard chalks are pretty cool because they've got the internal springs instead of external springs. So I've kind of got a droop setup going. And then this dinky RC skid plate really opened up a lot of capabilities with giving these external plate for helping mount the links. These links are pretty good. I've just beaten the hell out of them. They're all straight links. But just this is where it makes me wonder. So these are top links. These are bottom links in the rear. There we go. Dirt and grime holding everything together. So the kick up is over here. I wish these little balls would actually stay in the shop so it'd make it a lot easier. I'm fidgeting with them. All right, this is where it's fun to get. Now this is where the fun starts. Because all these inner links are held on by screw and a nut. But they've got the better rod ends. I might have to salvage those. Alright, I break out this again. Damn it. Well, I got the right actually look at this on this side. to this side. It looks like this might be kicking it out just a tad. That's definitely added something different to that rear end. Now we'll move to the front. I'm just going to go ahead and start with the steering. Well, that's a bad screw. It's stripped out. There's the steering. I can say this from my experience. That factory, I am modifying the suspension, Toga. I went from all these straight bars to all these angled bars. Like you see how that one's straight and that one's got an angle to it. So that's what I'm doing. Hopefully I'm improving it. So let's screw a little back. Just hoping this new steering link doesn't mess up my yep. That's what I was afraid of. I've got to extend it. It's too narrow. So turn it sideways. Use some space. Yeah, see, you can see the new links there. Yeah, I'm short a good bit. So let's see over this. I think that'll actually be enough. I think that'll be it. Yeah, I can't do drones, Tobin. The headless flying or whatever it's called. That's what gets me. The whole not being able to see where the hell I'm going. That's what gets me. I'm like that in the depth perception through FPV. I'm not done any of the newer ones where they're supposed to be better, but what little I have experience with drones, the depth perception is what gets me every time. Though I'm just that mindset. If I have issues, I'd rather just go pick it up 10 feet in front of me than have to go hunt it down from a tree branch or a boat drifting away in water. So that's my standing on it. Nope, we got longer than that. I think it's just because where I wear glasses. Though I'll be honest, I've not done any. I'm guessing the first person would mess with me because like video games and stuff, I can't do first person because it's just like I don't have that same coordination for over the shoulder. So I've never actually done any first person drone flying. It's just yeah. Well, I was just meaning I don't like drones because they get stuck in trees. Because the few big ones I've had that were, we'll say, novelty, I've lost them in trees, and it took forever to get back. And then just my thought in boats, I don't want to have to worry about breaking down or running out of fuel or power and be drifting away. So I stick away from boats. Is a rule of thumb. Though I want to swap this over to a Hobby Holmes revolver, and if I remember correctly, those we got all those motors because of drones. Because I want to say that from what I know, the drones were the first ones to get those outrunner motors because of space and weight. And I want to get one of those 380 Hobby Holmes revolvers for this because I think it'd be cool to have a little outrunner uh, motor on this thing. And I just reran this damn wire because I just upgraded this servo. Alright, so now can I make this easy on myself? And I lucked out with this one that I just found an old 1080 ESC for brushless that I upgraded the ESC on this so I could run lipos because the little nickel metal hydride batteries that this thing originally ran off of, you didn't get any runtime. Oh yeah, I'll be honest, I get more fun out of this than I do crawling these things. Like this thing's been out actual crawling on the rocks maybe twice, and you've seen all I've done, or you can tell what I've done, and it's not trial and error. I broke something, found a limitation. It's just, hey, I want to build something. I'm a very hands-on person. I like tinkering and building models. This just happens to be a model that I could play with inevitably if I so choose. Right, I'm going to make this easy on myself and just go ahead and take all these front links off because I'm going to have to redo them all. Yeah, thanks for dropping in though, Toga. Ah. No, that's a long screw. Hey, don't know if you could call them conversation considering most of the time I'm talking to myself, but. And here's another cool thing about this one. This started out as a lower link for the original crook, and I just replaced the rod ends to these red ones. That was the first modification I did to this because the link kit I got just didn't work with the lengths of links. All right, now let's see. Okay, these are going to be the bottom links. These are going to be the upper links. I don't know how this is going to work. I may end up having to use these links. But we got to try before we can determine. You're good. All right, where's my screwdriver? Get that one straight. Get that one straight. And I originally started modifying this one because I wanted to make a comp style crawler. Like if you look up Red Cat Ascent, or you just look up like Sorka class crawlers, which is the I guess it would be like the governing body for like actual comp crawling. Like where they actually have tournaments and big events where like actual big brands like Axial and Traxxas come out and support, or just have like what is the word I'm looking for? They have like booths. Most people I think call them belly draggers or whatever, but it's a comp crawler, and that's kind of what I was doing with this to make it what it is. That was the original ideal, is to make a comp crawler. Okay, so go ahead and put those back in. So I can say honestly, I'm using the wrong axles for this build, but the whole object of this build was to use it or build it with scrap parts or used parts or just as cheap as I could for a proof of concept. And I've gotten this far, and I've had a lot of my local groups or friends in the local groups that I go interact with on their crawl days or whatever we want to call it. And they're like, dude, that's pretty cool. So like, okay, people that have been more invested in the hobby than me are actually giving me input that I need to realize, okay, what I'm doing isn't not that it's wrong, but like it's working. As you say, just a confirmation of my ideal from someone other than me thinking it's working. Just like how a scientist would have a colleague check their math or whatever. That's just kind of how I'm seeing it. So yeah, that's not gonna work because like it would. Yeah, these are going to be too short. So I probably will stick with the ones I had. No. These tiny little washers. And of course, don't forget the Loctite for anything that's metal on metal. Oh, there you go, ZZ Top. That's a good band. That's a good band. I always liked for every music video they did. I think I heard they had that car built. Whatever car is in the music video, they had built for that music video, and then they like kept it or whatever. So like they have a hot rod for every one of their. Yeah, I guess they only did it for like their big hits. Hang on, wait a minute. I think I'm gonna have to go back another hole because these rods are shorter. Or I might just extend them. Yeah, there you go. That special episode they did on King of the Hill where the one ZZ Top guy is apparently Hank's cousin. That was a cool episode too. You ever seen King of the Hill? I remember you're over there in Europe somewhere, too, right? So like it's probably nighttime there. Yeah. So there's my links put on, but that's tipped too far forward, I think. At least for my comfort. Just that pinion angle. But let me grab a battery and the control. Okay, so you probably know what that is, Toga. That's what I run in this little guy. Little 3S lipos. I'm gonna have to shorten that one too. So 1300 3S lipo. That's what I'm using now. That's the other one I was running. Little shorty 3S. But like this thing, the way it's set up now, it was killing this battery in like 10 minutes. Which I'm trying to figure out why. Well, I don't plan on this thing crawling a line like that long. Like This is meant for like long course crawls. So that's why I'm going with that. But I have that one. That, and for the love of God, these little body clips for the hood. Yeah, that's true. That's why I've been looking around trying to find a small. Originally, I was looking for a 2 cell because I know uh, the way cell quantity works is you can have a smaller, higher milliamp 2 cell than you can a 3 cell or something like that. But that is a 1300 3 cell. Or if that makes sense, let me know because like in my head it made sense before I said it. Oh, good lord! You have to send me a picture of that, and I'll actually be able to see what you're talking about because I don't think I've ever seen. Oh, you mean it's the size? Okay, not that it looks like a beer bottle. Yeah, me multitasking is not working. I thought you said it looks, or it's the shape of a beer bottle. All right. Well, you know RC. Then you know TRX4 Toga. That's my TRX4 Sport. That's what I run of that. It's a 2 cell. I can get an hour. I can get an hour out of this with that. And I get 10 minutes with this. So that's what I'm trying to figure out. Yeah. Of course, you got to remember crawlers. Like that thing goes slow, slow. Now I've got a Traxxas Slash over here where I can stick this in there, and it kills it in like 20 minutes because it's a Slash is high speed where a crawler you're going slow. It's just this though. You also got to remember the difference in 5213. So I guess that's kind of comparable. And I was thinking that this thing was killing this too fat or killing this one too fast. But I guess it's because I'm used to 5200s and this 85. Like they're not comparable, but in my head, I guess I was gonna get more time at it. And I guess what was really getting me is that I have this one, and it's got a 750, and I was getting like 30, 45 minutes with it, but this is tiny. Like, look at it. That's a 1-inch wheel. The little TRX4M. This thing runs 2.2 wheels, and I'm guessing that's what we're talking about. That and this has got a 180 motor in it, or this has got a 380 motor in it, and this is portaled, so it's really a shocker learning out the differences. Oh yeah, yeah. Well, I try to stick away from the no name brand Chinesium batteries. And here, in my experience, I've only stuck with the brands that I know people are using, or I get on the forums. Well, not forums, the groups on Facebook, and I like, hey, what battery is everyone using? What battery do you like? This is going to completely be wrong on how to do this, but you know what? The way they build everything else in their price points, like I think they should stay out of the business because they start building that stuff and then they throw their name on it. That's like a 20% price increase right there. Even with batteries being dear cheap, because like look at Traxxas. I imagine you've heard of Traxxas, you've seen Traxxas. That 5200 battery, I spent $30 on it. If it said Traxxas, it would have been like 80. Let alone their proprietary chargers. The charger by itself, like an Easy Peak Traxxas charger, that's like $100. Where I've got like a $40 just universal charger. Like those big name companies, yeah, they've got the money for, we'll say, research and development, but that big name brand price, it would just make it to where nobody wants to do anything. Yeah, this isn't gonna work. I'm gonna have to pull these off. I do not want to have to pull these off. I guess it's true. It is one of those things where it's. I guess you could say it's very opinion based. Which yeah, they might say this, they might say that, and there might be some quality, but it's like, come on, it's 2023. A freaking RC motor and ESC shouldn't be $400 for like a 380, which there's companies that don't charge that, but then there are companies that do. Like this motor, this is a $12 motor. All right. The ESC I'm using, if I were to buy it brand new, is like $60. It's a Hobby Wing 1080, but it's the original. Now, if I were to go buy it a new one now from like a dealer, I'm looking at like probably 120. Or no, not a Hobby Wing, but like a Castle. I'm looking at $90 just for the ESC. And yeah, there's a lot of value there too, but it's like, I thought this was supposed to be a hobby. Like, what happened to hobby prices for a hobby? Like, I get that there people are making money. I get that. And like, don't get me started with Vanquish. Don't get me started with Vanquish. I'm sorry, their shit is just overpriced. Like, I want a set of Vanquish beadlock wheels. This is true, but it's just it's crazy. Oh, for the love of God, this damn little heart. Does little heart get on anybody else's nerves that it blocks the bottom line of chat? And then look at tools. Tools. Like I spent $20 on this tool, or no, $30 on this tool and like 6 bits. The ones I'd really like to get are the Vanquish ones, or the like the team associated ones with the orange handle. But like 2 screwdrivers is like $80. Right? Like I get for what people, but like put it at the top of the top line of chat, or make it to where you can make it go away. That's 116 millimeters. Don't get me started about everything in RC being metric. All right, where did I put the other screw? Where did you put the other screw, Chris? Oh, don't do this to me right now. Please don't do this to me right now. Well, I'm guessing on the price there, Toga. I imagine it's probably more like $50 range, but like literally three screwdrivers with like that bit and like these three sizes, like these three bits, that about length, maybe a little longer with the uh the resin handle. Yeah. Yeah, I'm probably exaggerating the price a little, but yeah, it's close to that. Because I keep looking at them. Okay, there's that screw. I'm about to have a heart attack. I've been looking at them because I want a good set because they do have the ball end. They are ball end hexes, and that's kind of why I want them because they're ball end. And I imagine they are a better grade metal. But like, come on. Yeah, you got to pay for tooling. You got to pay for branding. You've paid for all that by now, and at this point, it's like 90% profit. Of course, there's probably a good chance I'm talking at my ass about half of this. Probably. Probably. It seems like I imagine the electronics for these things like 30 years ago. The price was comparable to what they cost to make them. It doesn't cost that to make these anymore. Like that remote in an ESC, like you probably spent they probably spend like 30-40 bucks a piece, but they sell them for like 80-90. Okay, these rods are similar in length. That's what I need to make sure of. But they are not straight. You would not believe how hard it is to try to align these damn things. Like you see the bend? Like these things almost need a line on the side to help you orientate because it's polished. So without some kind of coloring, it's mind-boggling trying to figure out orientation. But like I was saying about this thing apart, really I should probably be using uh, uh, axial axles or Vanquish axles because a lot of their axles are they're mirror images. Like they're not offset. Like the pumpkin, it's not offset. Like this portion, the pumpkin, it's centered on all the axles, which is kind of what I need. Where this one's offset to the driver's side, I kind of need it the other way because of the line of the transmission. Come on. Oh no. There. I'm gonna say, don't do that. Don't do that. And if you've been around RC for any length of time, Toga, I imagine you've heard of RC Sparks. I've been watching that guy since I was in junior high, and he's what really made me want to get into this hobby. Like all his early stuff when he was still living out in Western Canada. The screwdrivers are RC Sparks. Okay, yeah. I think I fixed it. The that angle isn't as sharp as it was. Like I want to say that was more, which I probably could fix it by changing these upper links location, but I'll run it the way it is for now. Of course, the way this thing is sitting now, it's just not really sitting at droop. It actually kind of canters it now. Which I need to adjust this steering rod, and I think I'll be done. I'll throw some wheels on it. I'll let you see it with wheels. I think that's better. You want the big wheels or the little wheels? I got 2 sets of wheels for this truck, which is funny. Everybody laughs at the big wheels. Clean up some of these odd things real fast since I can't move the camera to the floor, so I can do it here on the desk, but I gotta move stuff. Always parts left over. But even though I got another set of links. I'm gonna take a wild guess, Tobin, and say you know the average size of RC wheel, right? 10 scale, 1.9, 2.2. It's the size of my hand. I like how you think. I like how you think. Oh, if parts are left over, you're a master. There's kind of a joke like here in the States for like I'll say redneck guys because I'm a redneck, so I can say that if you get done and there's parts left over, they weren't really needed anyhow. Like if you get it back together and it works, those parts weren't even really needed. Oh, I forgot. You're from Turkey. That's where my handgun's from. Like it's my only gun, but I think it's a pretty cool gun. I like it. It's a Canik, K-A or C-A-N-I-K, Canik. Yeah. Like when I got it, I just liked it because it was a nice size handgun. All right, let me move this. Yeah, I thought it was cool that I did research after getting it and found it was from Turkey. All right, so there we go. Which is funny is I put it on portals. I've heard people say that the C is supposed to be a just sound in its native country, but reading so much stuff with C, it's hard. It's hardwired to me that it's a K sound. Hey, my name Chris, CH. Yeah. I put portals on it to make it sit higher. And then you throw 2.2s and it's just hilarious. Which, that's a 1.9. I'm a little iffy with this Lincoln drive shaft clearance, but can you feel the flex? Yeah, the smaller ones they're more ideal for the normal crawling, but if I'm trying to get into like a tough spot with the way this is set up with the links and the distance and its wheelbase, these are better because this acts as another gear reduction. Yeah, that's the reason I built it the way I did, for the flex. All the flex. But like I said, that drive shaft is awful close. But I'm pretty sure these high clearance links will do what I needed them to do and why I got them. Because these straight links in the rear were all the time bottoming out and hanging up. But hey, you buy cheap parts to test, and then you figure out what works, and then that's when you spend the money. Which these are still Amazon special links, but that's 146. Yeah, I gotta adjust this toe in more. 145. And then servos. Don't get me started with servos now that I'm thinking about it. The price of servos. Like this was $20. It was a 35 kg servo. Amazon the Banggood special. Anywhere else, like a servo anywhere near close to this is like $80. And I'm like, I get you're paying for quality, but it's like, ooh, don't want to spend that. The thing I really need to learn though is soldering. Really need to learn that one. All right, stop for a break. Like the rubber part or the actual like metal part of the wheel? Just so clarify, because I know some people call that the tire and some people call that the tire. Like, are you referring to the actual rubber or the actual metal? For this, I prefer the 1.9s just for everywhere that I go to crawl. These just, they're too big. Like, I'm not going to say that it doesn't make it, it makes, yeah, let me rephrase that. It's not that these make it not a challenge. It's that these will just kind of drive over everything and it'll get to a point where I'm no longer crawling. I'm just kind of driving, and then these on an angle, like if any kind of angle, these pull the truck over almost. Because as it is, all the weight is here. All the weight is here. Because like this is a metal aluminum, like, I don't know. Where's the damn thing? Like 2 millimeter thick, stamped out chassis, plus all the plastic in it, all the motor and transmission, all the weight's there. So putting these here, it puts the weight higher, and it makes it to where some areas are just too easy, and then it makes it areas where this thing really would have a challenge. It makes it to where it doesn't even get a chance to do the challenge because it just lets it roll. Actually, like I was saying, these bigger tires work like another gear reduction because it has a single speed transmission off of a 13 or 37 turn or 32 turn motor. So there's not really much gear ratio in the transmission, but then it goes down to the TRX4 diff that is at I'm pretty sure it's a stock ring and pinion down to a portal. And this isn't exactly set up for this transmission because this transmission was set up for straight drive shafts, not portals. So the bigger tires put less stress on the transmission probably overall because of the gear reduction, but they're more weight. So there's more overall stress, I think. I might be overthinking it somewhat, but that's my deduction. But I like the way these look because they almost look like a fuel or some of those big name brand tires that you always see on like dualies and F-150s and stuff. Like they look like a real brand, where these are just the obvious standard bullet hole style wheel, other than the fact that this is a true beadlock where I have two rings that I have to take off and put back on to swap tires. I need to find a bigger T-wrench for these sizes, just longer. So that's a 7 millimeter. Like I just need it. I need it like that long. What?
I'm leaving.
All right, where you going? You going to get mom? Are you coming back? You staying gone?
I don't know yet.
Well, I'm just asking so I know, because like, are you gonna eat here? Do we need to worry about making enough food for y'all? Just communication. Communication.
All right.
I mean, I kind of like them like that better. It does look a little more scale. Like if this was like a buggy, these I think are comparable to like 33, 40-inch tires, something like that. 35, 40-inch tires. What part are you absolutely? Sorry, Toga. I keep coming back and I see a comment that I didn't catch, but I've said a couple things. I need some context. Then I've started storing all my cars without the wheels because I hear people talk about them getting flat spots. So I store all my trucks without the wheels. Now, if you want to talk about what some of my favorite wheel setups is, this purple Trail beadlock on the Traxxas Trail Canyons. This is what I run on my TRX4. I love that purple. I want to get the wheels they make in this size that look like a spider web, kind of. That's the next rim purchase are. But these are like $60 for four. This is true. There is a lag between what I'm saying and when you see it. I'm almost done. I got to zip tie up this servo wire. And then probably send a picture to my friends that are I'm using their brain for information.
Don't email about this because nobody knows about this except for me and you.
Oh, I love Hobby Holmes. When he does videos always cracks me up. I really want to get that revolver, that 380 revolver. It doesn't sit level anymore. Pardon my rudeness for not looking at the camera for a second. All right. Zip tie, zip tie, zip tie. Now, after I think about it, I probably should have done this before I put anything back together. Just because of the hassle. But I will say this for this chassis, like the body, I can just reach in and grab a wire anywhere I need to. Big hands, little car, just not go together. Anybody watching that does this, these zip tie ends are great for applying thread locker to little screws in little spots. And you're kind of recycling. You know, that whole reduce, reuse, recycle. So that's a pretty neat little tidy job. 3 little zip ties. Plenty of slack. It's like, I think that's about the same orientation it was when I started, so I'm going to call that a wind. I do kind of wish that that servo didn't sit so high, though. Or almost like I pull everything in, like make it a little shorter so this is a little closer to that, but hey, that being front end there is what gives this all of its characteristics. It's on the shelf. And this car is what gave me the whole idea to do that one. The UTV 18. 4-link front and rear, portal axles front and rear, servo mounted axle. Oddly enough, same motor. The same motor that's in this is in that. What, the Spider? You saying the Spider looks gorgeous, or this one? Because this one I've not done anything with because of how proportionate. They're both 18th scales. But where this one is more of a small 18th scale. Okay, let me. So this one looks good, yeah. These are all 18th scale. See how it messes up? Like people's understanding, like that's an 18th scale Bronco. That was sold as an 18th scale Temper Gen 8 or a Temper Gen 2. It was a lot shorter then, but the body. And then this is an 18th scale. I modeled this after this. Because I wanted one of these, and then I got one of these because it was $100 cheaper And then I played with it and I liked it because of the flex. But then I was like, its original setup, the axles were it needed this to be what it is. It needed the upgrade of the parts, the axles, the links, the drive shafts. And then this, you take this out on the rocks where you would take that one or the TRX4, and it just feels inadequate. Like it feels like it needs to be like longer or wider, just a little. Though I imagine if I swapped out these plastic axles for maybe some aluminum ones, or just found a better spot to take this, it'd probably do really good. But yeah, there's some more Trial beadlocks. Gotta do green with green. I've seen a lot of people that take these and they kind of do what I did to the Spider to this, and then they take the interior out and put a one driver interior, put like a little faux 3D printed motor back here, which this is just what they call the mini capper. If you look up the capper 1.9, you get this in like that size. And then this one was cool when I got it because it actually came with the licensed wheels. If you can, it has the licensed wheels, but they're plastic. So I threw these on. Though I think I'm going to replace these with a different set because I don't really like how they fit. Because these are 1.0 tires and wheels, little metal beadlocks. And then this is the case the tires actually came in, and I kind of made it fit. So this isn't really so much a crawler anymore. It is just a carpet runner. You can see the chassis on that one. It's metal chassis, but everything else is plastic except where I upgraded the front end to brass because this thing would roll over if you turn too sharp. Oh. So that's that. That is one of my. I like to hold on to these little Ziploc bags, if nothing else, for all the screws that I have. With all these going in here, I'll know where they come from. I kind of need to get a different one of these. Like I want to get one that doesn't change heights when you twist it, because that's what this one does. It screws itself up and down. I need to get one that spins but doesn't change its height in the process of spinning it up and down. And this is the one that I've gotten into recently. And I did my first major upgrade with it when I got this Fly Sky Noble. Well, if I wanted to pay the market price, Toga, I want to say Traxxas sells one that's they I think they came out when they came out with their last big promotional. That it's a stand that just got a bearing support. It's I think it's meant for a little bit bigger RCs, but then I think they have a smaller one, but their first one they made was like for their X Max. Mm. Oh, I forgot to take the button. I had it set up on a button. I wanted some underglow. Oh. Well, this is a 10th scale, but I see what you're getting at. This is a 10th scale too. Most of the stuff I have is 10th scale. Or most of the ones I use a lot are 10th scale. But I kept seeing all the ones online that actually had like LED underglow and stuff, and I was like, you know what? I need some lights. Like I don't have the setup yet to put in light buckets. Like I can put a little LED, I can put a little LED there, but I got to figure out what size they are and put them in, and then the tail lights will take lights too. But and then because it's a drift car, it's got a gyro in there. No hands. This one's the biggest learning curve for me. Because this one, you actually got to know your camber, your toe. So I already know with this stock gyro and this stock ES servo, when I actually start drifting it, I get the wheels do that the whole time. It took me forever. I had this thing for probably 2 or 3 months, and then I finally got a chance to go up to we'll call it a meet, where some other guys were driving, and they helped me figure out that I think my gyro was reversed the whole time. Oh, and I got to remember I got to put the camber back in this, because I was talking to some other guys, and they were telling me that I probably should keep some camber in the rear where I took it out. Yeah. I really want to put a brake light in here. Little brake light. It's got a spot I can stick it in there and run the wire up. I'm just glad I put that fan in. These are the ones where you really got to worry about the ESC and motor temp from everything I've heard. In reality, I should probably go to a shorty pack that has bullet holes, but this works for me for now. Yeah. And then I like these wheels better. These are like actually modeled after real wheels, but these are carpet tires, where these are multi-surface tires. But I like these wheels too. These are some MST wheels. Now, I keep having to have just debates with people. Is it a Camaro or a Mustang? Because like I see that, I think Mustang. I see that front end, the length. I see Camaro. But from what I've found out, this is supposed to be a newer rendered model of a 370Z or a 370Z. Like this is like a rendered model style, just non-licensed. So that's why it's the rendered body. And I will be right back. Yeah. It still looks cool. I'd rather, I really want to do a truck body. Yeah, this is true. Like, it looks good, but like I said, I want to do a truck body. There's a guy I watch called Roadside RC that he has put a non-branded, like it kind of looks like it could be a mix between a Chevy or a Ford single cab long bed. And I want to do a truck. The only thing is with the truck, I'd have to completely relocate the motor and the transmission. But I will be back momentarily. I have a pupper Alrighty. You know what? I didn't even think about making a Cybertruck body for it. That would be really cool. And I wouldn't have to do aluminum. I could just get some, I guess, Lexan or whatever and just paint it silver. That is a great idea, Toga. Thank you. I can't necessarily say that I'll do it, but that is a brilliant idea. I will have to bring up to my friends that ideal and see if someone can help me figure it out. Like here's what I was meaning. $50 for 3 screwdrivers. There we go. Like they want $50 for 3 screwdrivers. Like I can understand quality. I can understand that you're paying for a brand, but $50 for 3? Like that. How is that $106? You get 7 bits, a screwdriver, and a holder. How is that $107? Like I love the way these handles look. There's not even 8 screwdrivers there for $81. Right, Toga? Like I get you're paying for materials, you're paying for tooling for the tool to be made. I get that you're paying all these, or I get that the manufacturer has all these costs. But like it's a hobby. Like this is like Snap-on and Matco prices for hobby stuff. Yeah, see, like these, they don't go up and down. It just sits there and spins. But the one I want is it's more cut out. It's more like skeletal. I want to say it's Traxxas. Right? Like that's an acceptable price. You have 5 tools and a handle. I'd pay that. I want one of these radios. Like I love that handle layout. But you pay like an extra $80 just for the green. Oh wow, it's cheaper. Oh, that's okay. It's without a receiver. It does. This is without a receiver. Now this is this company right here. This is the one I'd love to get some parts from. Like these are tools and stuff, but like they're parts like for the Traxxas and stuff. Like I've got this set from a different brand though. That's not what I clicked on. All right, well, Integy is having a conniption. There we go. Okay, Integy is like losing their shit. Like these A arms, they're all aluminum. A lot of people say that you go metal, you get heavy, you break instead of bend, which is a valid point. But It looks really cool. This is what I was talking about. I get sized for different trucks and it locks. It locks into place. Or like this one. Of course, these holes here also for working on shocks. So that's the other cool thing about these. Nice little pit mat. Oh, this truck. I would love to have one of these. The scale that this truck is with like the armor panel and everything. And the mirrors and the fact that you can mount little lights just like real Jeeps. I'd love to get one of those, but you can see the price. Which when it comes to a full, yeah, I've heard about Banggood. I don't think I've ever gone there though. I don't think I ever did Banggood. Let me. Oh, okay. So it's like a AliExpress and Temu. I want to say Kevin Talbot talks about it a lot. To see something like that looks like it'd be cool. It almost makes me want to get into 3D printing because then you could just print your own frame and then all you gotta do is buy the electronics. Is it supposed to be a dolphin? Huh. I see these a lot. Ones that look just like that. I see these a lot. I'm just like, that looks like a scam. But it looks cool. Darn it. These are really what I want to do, though. Like, look at that. It's not screen Peterbilt or Kenworth. That's what I want to get into. Like, I drive one for a living, so you'd think I'd hate it, but I want to build one because you have to build it from scratch. I like a tow truck. That'd be cool. Yeah. With a lot of those websites, all it has to, most of their description words are eye catchers, not actual what they are. Oh, that'd be cool to build. The only downside for these is, well, that's because it was plastic with vinyl wrap on it, or carbon fiber. Is it carbon fiber like a fraction of the weight if something's made out of carbon fiber and something else is made out of like regular plastic? It's like, but carbon fiber is like a fraction of the weight, not even like a half the weight or a percentage of it. It's like literally a fraction. Oh, what is it? Oh. It seems like a lot of these tools are a lot more reasonable. Oh, what was the other thing I was going to look at? Here we go. Here's one of the next trucks I want to get. Come on, open. Why are you taking so long? It's got a cantilever rear suspension. There you go. See, that's the rear suspension. But people like to take these and make these into like the hardcore rock crawlers. Oh, here's the other another truck that kind of was the inspiration for my Spider. I want to say I've seen someone that took this plate right here. Like they took this plate. Oh, it's there you go. They took this part from something else. They took two of them and they stuck them together to extend the chassis. And I thought about doing that with the temper just to extend the body and shorten the lengths. But the way it's a two-piece sandwiched, like the front half on the each side is made up of two panels sandwiched. So it doesn't work that way. I do have thoughts about making it wider. Because I think if I can make the body a little wider, it would help with stability and balance. Like, look at that. Like, that's a low boy trailer that goes with those semis that we were looking for. I'm willing to bet this part functions like it should. Because it's an RGN removable gooseneck. Damn! $830. And it's just metal, plastic, and rubber. Hey, it's a Cascadia. The 16 scale, though. This looks more like toy grade than hobby grade, though. But it's still cool. Oh, what is it? Right? Right? That's what I'm saying. Like, this is real. Like, this is no longer hobby at that price, which I understand. It is a niche group of people that do that particular hobby. I get that it's a niche group that are doing the RC. Here's another one I'd like to have. If it'll load. This thing just it just looks badass. It's got like a Baja buggy look to it. I just use Chrome. Like, look at the size of that. That's how big that thing is. Oh, I'm on the wrong page. Damn it. That's how big the thing is. I forgot to switch over, but yeah. Like I would love to have one of these. And they have a size bigger. What, Opera GX for a browser? Never heard of that. Yeah, this one's cool. It even comes in a Fox. But they have this in a 5th scale. See if I can't find it. Oh. Well, here's another version of it. This one's called a laser nut. Just looks mean. I could have swore there was a 5th scale one. Oh yeah, here we go. Yeah, this is the 5th scale. This we're gonna have a picture of a dude standing next to it. No. Yeah, that motor is probably the size of a 12-ounce can. Oh, okay, that's cool. It's a free VPN website. That I'll have to remember. I want to say I've heard of it, but I've never really messed with it because just I'm a Google guy. Yeah, that's a 5th scale. That tire is probably bigger than that 2.2 I had. Like you could probably put a kid on this and let him ride it. Like the size is never really easy to determine. Yeah. There you go. It's 780 kV motor. That's a torquey little monster. I can guarantee you that that's a torquey little monster. And that's probably a two 2S or two 4S batteries. Yeah, you know when it's dual batteries, it's eating juice. And then that's its little brother. That's the little brother, 10th scale. Let's see, does it show a picture of the motor? Yeah, that's one like 2S battery. Well, the 5th scale, right there. That's the 5th scale. That's the 10th scale. But yeah, it's in the name DBXL. Oh, two 3S or two 4S. And there's a spec for the battery. 500 milliamp 50C LiPo. It has a 6.5 mil shaft. Or no, 8 millimeter shaft. Damn. The bullet connectors are almost as big as the shaft. That's crazy. Yeah, like you're gonna do something with that. Oh wow, I've been on for 3 hours. How did I manage that? Oh. Oh. Well, Toga, I think I'm gonna call it a day for streaming. Got some other odds and ends stuff I'm gonna do. I appreciate you hanging out with me. But you see what I do now for fun? Heck, you can see my my tire collection, and my Slash, like the whole shelf I've got going. My mom or my girlfriend calls it my garage. That focus. Thank you. Hopefully I didn't keep you up. You should have been in bed. You have fun. Yeah. Happy New Year's. Happy holidays. I'm out.